Hi, and thank you for joining another Horse Rider Pilates session. We're going to be working your whole body today, and we're going to be working it quite hard, so you do need to be warmed up. If you haven't done a warm-up session yet, pause this one, go and find one of the warm-up sessions, and then come back and join this one when you are done. We're going to start up by loosening through your upper body a little bit more with your bow and arrow exercise. So you need to have one foot in front of the other. Check your headlights here are pointing straight ahead, then it's arms up in front. Draw one hand back to your shoulder, turn and look over that shoulder, and then face the front, and the same thing the other way. Trying to keep equal weight through your feet, but also keeping those headlights to the front, so all of this movement is coming through your spine and your upper body. Okay, we're going to swap, pop the other foot in front, and again, hands up, check those headlights are forward as you go back into that turn. You really want that controlled movement. Think about when you're in the saddle, you don't want as you turn to collapse through that side. So you're being precise. All that movement is coming through your spine, turning, not because you have collapsed. Okay, then we're going to go to the end of your mat with your feet together. Have your knees soft, hands on the front of your thighs, tuck your chin in, and as you roll down, try to feel that every single vertebra moves one at a time, right down through from your upper back, right down through so your pelvis comes down last. Breathe in at the bottom, breathe out, tuck down with your pelvis, and then you're stacking every single vertebra through your low back, your mid back, upper back, through your neck, and your chin coming up last. Again, chin in, and curl up as tightly as you possibly can. Once again with your pelvis moving last. Breathe in the bottom. As you breathe out, bend your knees. We're going down onto your mat and we're going down onto your side, and we're going to start with your side bend. So you need to be in your capital L position, so knees bent at 90 degrees. If you get any shoulder pain lying on this side, you can do the arm and leg part flat on your mat. You don't have to do the propped up part. Obviously it makes it a little bit easier, but you can do that if you need to. So pelvic floor onto floor 3, and you're synchronizing, lifting your top arm as you lift your pelvis, and synchronize as you lower. We're looking for smoothness up and smoothness down, so no landing with a plop. And we're looking for you to keep breathing and keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. If you're finding that one easy, we'll make it a little bit harder by lifting that top leg. So if you've been doing this one on the floor, then you can add in lifting the leg now, 2. But we're still looking for that nice synchronization of arm and leg and pelvis. Most important is the pelvis, to be fair. But we're going to make it harder now and add in straighten that top leg. And again, you can do this if you're flat on the floor, because we've now got 3 bits of you that really need to be moving together, arm, leg and pelvis. Hopefully keeping your pelvic floor onto floor 3. And keeping your breathing very regular. So really looking for that control. If you find that you're starting to land with a plop, maybe stop doing the leg part. You need to push into stamina a little bit though. We'll do one more. Okay, then you're going to straighten your legs, flat down onto your side. If you can, top hand onto your top headlight. Have that little mouse sole position. It's just enough, remember, that your spine is basically parallel to the floor. Pelvic floor onto floor 3. Lift your top leg, lift your bottom leg, bring them both back down together. So it's lift, lift, both down together. Remember, it's not a great big lift. You'll struggle to get your bottom leg up and you'll collapse down through your side. This is about control and stability around your hips, keeping that pelvis still. If you find this easy, you can stay in your lifted position, provided you're comfortable on your side, and see if you can move your legs slightly forwards and backwards. So kind of pretending to be a mermaid, if you like, but provided you can keep your upper body basically still, and you can keep breathing, so you're not fixing and bracing in order to be able to do that movement. It's quite hard. So if you find you're uncomfortable lying on your hip on this side, don't try and do it, because you'll just really, really struggle. Okay, then bring your legs back down, and we're going to turn onto your front. And we're going to do the breaststroke, but we're going to do building up to doing the full breaststroke arms version. So we're going to start off with your hands underneath your head. Lift your tummy away from that imaginary puddle of water, pelvic floor onto floor 3. Lift your upper body and slowly back down. So your arms, head and neck move as one, but watch that you don't just sink down through your tummy. You can go much higher in your lift, but all you're doing is hinging through here. So keep that tummy just away from the puddle of water into that lift. Watch your feet. If you find your feet are coming off the floor, you're probably trying a little bit too hard. Okay, we're going to make it harder by adding in that full breaststroke movement. So it's into that lift, hold the lift as you bring your arms around, back in and down. So it's lift, hold the lift, stay looking at the floor. So watch me don't look ahead, because that actually just fixes you, blocks you through your neck. So stay looking at the floor, keep that tummy away from the puddle of water, keep the pelvic floor going if you can, and don't forget to breathe. And we're going to do one more. Lovely. We're now going to turn onto the side that you've not yet been on. So I'm going to spin myself around, and we're once again going to start with your side bend. As with the other side, if you're not comfortable propped up on your shoulder, do this one flat, it's absolutely fine. So capital L legs, top arm onto your top side, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and you're synchronising, lifting your pelvis and that top arm over your head and synchronising them back down. So it's into that lift, smoothly up, smoothly down, controlled up, controlled down, just as if you were doing some lovely movement on the flat with your horse. No jerking, no jolting, seamless transitions and changes of direction. And then we're going to make it harder by lifting that top leg. Don't forget to breathe, and try if you can to keep the pelvic floor onto floor 3. I do appreciate as the exercises get harder, it does get harder to keep the pelvic floor going, but if you can do it, then that's brilliant. Just watch that you're not overdoing it. Okay, we're going to move on up to that final progression. So you've got your arm, leg and pelvis all moving together. If you're doing this and you find that you're struggling to land with control, go back to doing the level below. Likewise, if you're finding that you're holding your breath, go back down to the level below. It just means you're not quite strong enough yet to be able to do this effectively. Okay, we'll do one last one. And then legs down, legs straight. Top hand onto your top headlight if you can. Little mouse hole position, remember, just enough so your spine is basically parallel with the floor. And we're back into your lift and lower. So little lift, both back down. I seem to have chosen a really wobbly patch of the lawn to go on, which was marvellous. But I've said it before and I will say it again, horses are not flat, static objects. So it's a good thing sometimes to be working yourself on a surface that is not nicely smooth and carpeted. Okay, as with the other side, if you want to give a go at doing the little mermaidy movement, that's fine. You stay up in that little position there, little lift, and then work on moving those legs forwards and back. So you're not bending through your knees, you're moving from your hips, just a little way forwards, a little way back, trying to keep your pelvis as still as possible. Keep relaxed through your shoulder, that top shoulder. Keep breathing and try to keep that pelvic floor. Okay, then we'll bring those legs back down. We're going to go onto your back and we're going to do your double leg stretch. If you're getting tired, you can do this with your feet on the floor, but I'm going to do this with my legs up in tabletop. So remember, you want your knees and hips both at 90 degrees. Bring your hands up above your shoulders. Try to make sure that your hands are level with each other before you start and without any tension. Connect ribs to pelvis, pelvic floor onto floor 3, then straighten one leg as your arms go over your head. and bring them back up together. So you're synchronizing arms and legs. Your abdominal muscles, those connections between ribs and pelvis are really important so that you don't end up with this happening. Remember that your abdominal muscles help stabilize your trunk, and that means you've got a nice stable connection between your upper body and your pelvis, your contact and your seat. Every time your hands come back in view, make sure that they are level with each other. You haven't got one that's leading the way or one that's drifted out to the side. And try to keep them soft. One more each way. Lovely. Bring your arms down, bring your feet down one at a time, and we're going to go onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do your full leg pull. So if you can have your hands just in front of your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, toes underneath your feet, pelvic floor onto floor 3, then you're lifting your knees and slowly back down. So it's pelvic floor, little lift, slowly back down, and it really is the little lift. You're not trying to get your bottom right up in the air. It's much harder work to do it this way. Then hands a little bit further in front, pelvic floor into that lift, forwards over into your full plank position. Again, watch you don't end up here or here. You want that basically straight line, shoulders, hips, knees and heels, back over and down. As you do the back over and down, do watch that you pause in this point and don't just sort of land with a crash. You want that precision all the way through. So a bit like with the side bend that we did earlier on, you want to land with control. Okay, we're going to make this a bit harder. We're going to add in some arm movements at the top. So you're going to stay in this position, staying in your plank, and seeing if you can pat each shoulder in turn, keeping the rest of your body nice and still, pelvic floor staying on floor 3. So your weight will have to shift a little bit, it has to, but try to keep that to a minimum. One more each way. Super job. Back over your knees, come back down. And then we're going to come up. So you've got one foot up in front of you. Get your balance in this position. It's not a position that we go into that often, so it can feel a little bit strange. I like to have my hands on the front of my headlights for this one. Then you're going to tilt your headlights up forwards and push those headlights away, keeping that upwards tilt, and ease back off. And doing that, you should have felt a little bit tight down the front of that thigh. So again, tilt upwards, keep the upwards tilt as you push forwards, ease back off and down. We'll do one more this way, tilt up and forwards, and then we're going to swap. So again, get your balance first of all, then you're tilting upwards and forwards, ease back off and down. Remember, we're not stretching to make something longer, we're just taking the muscle through its full length. So tilt upwards and forwards, ease back off and down. And that's a nice thing to do when you've worked quite hard. We'll do one more. Tilt upwards, push forwards, ease back off and rest down. And we are going to finish there. So well done, you've stuck through all of those. Quite hard, but it's good sometimes, particularly if you're quite fit and strong already. It's good sometimes just to really challenge all your body in quite a hard way. I hope you've enjoyed those exercises. Any comments, feedback are always much appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much, and I hope you will stay around and watch in the next sessions. Look after yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.